Before we get started, I just want to alert everyone to an important video that you've just recorded that will not be available to the public. Here, you discuss the upcoming geopolitical shockwave of what you call the most significant development in international finance since 1971. But then you explain how anyone can position themselves to profit from this crisis. Our viewers can access that video at londonreal.tv/Jim, and I highly recommend that everyone go watch that immediately after our conversation.
The problem with the U.S. electorate now is that even the Democrats don't like Biden. I mean, this isn't the polling; it's not an opinion thing. It's like 70% of the Democrats, not the voting public. The Democrats think he's too old, don't want him to settle. But boy, do they hate Trump. They just, I would blame everything on white women. You know, married to one, but the middle to upper middle class, college educated white women of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, Montgomery County, Maryland, Loudoun County, Virginia, they're out there. They're a key vote. And they just hate Trump, and that's not going to change. But if you give them a third choice, you say, oh, I don't have to go for this senile, feeble-minded Biden, but I don't have to vote for Trump either. There's a bright, articulate Democrat out there. He'll attract votes, and he is. And then since we're doing the wild card segment, don't rule out a third party with Joe Manchin. Because I was involved with the third party presidential campaign. It was back in 2012. It was a group that has spent a lot of big money behind it, spent years and millions of dollars getting on the ballot in all 50 states, which is hard to do. But there's a new group that have done that. They're on their way to being on the ballot in all 50 states. And they like Manchin. And so you may see Manchin as a third party. Now you're back to 1992, where I was going to say Teddy Roosevelt in 1912. But I was, just to be clear, I did not vote for Bill Clinton. But for business reasons, I was in the government bond market, and I ran a Washington office, so you got to play the game. And I raised a lot of early money for Bill Clinton. Again, it was business. So I got invited to all these meetings. You'd be there with Vernon Jordan, Pam Harrington, and I remember one, it was early June 1992, so about 5 months before the election. And the polling was, Ross Perot was ahead. He was at the time. George H.W. Bush was second, and Bill Clinton was third. And James Carville stood at the front of the room, fairly small group, and says, "We got him right where we want him." And what he said is that Perot's ahead. That's good. He's going to fade because they always do. Bush has had a ceiling, and we're going to pick up enough of the Perot vote to win. It was brilliant. And he got it exactly right. It wasn't, it's the economy stupid. I mean, I know this, but he looked at that and got it exactly. That's exactly what happened. Bill Clinton never got a majority of the U.S. vote. He won the first time with like 39%. It was kind of like round numbers, Clinton 39, Bush like 38, and Perot 19, or give or take. Might have been in the low 40s. But the point being, Clinton didn't have anywhere near a majority. He barely won a plurality. But in a three-party race, that's enough.
Yeah.
And Manchin could do that again. I'm not saying Manchin's going to win, but man, if he peels away, because you got because the Trump haters are so entrenched, they're just never going to vote for him. Forget it. If you give them another choice, they'll go for it. And I could keep RFK as a nominee or a third party.
Wow, that's super exciting. I remember those times of Perot and Carville. What an astute guy. I'd love to get more stories about him in the future. We are going to get to this upcoming geopolitical shockwave. You're calling it the most significant development in international finance since 1971, when I was born. And then also explain how people can position themselves. You've recorded a private video. People can go watch that at londonreal.tv/Jim. Before we go there, though, I got to get your thoughts on Trump. I think today he was now federally indicted because of the secret documents in Mar-a-Lago. What do you make of Trump right now? You mentioned the women. I'm not going to call them the Karens, but the certain group of women that hate Trump. I've watched him recently. I really enjoy listening to him the last few months. He seems calm. He seems relaxed. He's not spiteful. He's got great answers. He's confident of the solutions. I don't know. I find him in a really interesting energy that I read him to where he seems like he's in a really strong space. But like you said, you can't discount the haters or the weaponization of the judicial system. Or is that what's happening here, Jim?
It's exactly what's happening. And I have, I'm fortunate. I have a huge global network of correspondents. They're not, commentators or TV anchors or whatever, but they're just people I keep in touch with. And because I love that, I was talking about cognitive diversity, you and not, ethnic or racial diversity, but brain power, working on different wavelengths in different areas of expertise, and, correspond with engineers and guy runs a lumberyard and, just everyday people, but all over. So I put a high value on that. And one guy I've been corresponding with says, I fear for the republic, the U.S. Republic, the United States of America, but I hear all these big names, Mark Levin and all these guys, Tom Fitton, they're U.S. Analysts. They're always picking the end of the republic, and it doesn't seem to happen. He goes, are they losing credibility? And I said, the problem is, I think we might be seeing the decline of the republic from the weaponization of the Department of Justice. When a Department of Justice controlled by one candidate indicts the other candidate, I'm like, are we in Brazil? Where are we exactly? Is this Peru? They're nice countries. I've been to all of them, but it kind of looks like, or Ukraine for that matter. Maybe we're getting more Ukrainian instead of the other way around. But it's really sad. But what I said to this guy is, you have to remember, these things take time. You can get the analysis just right. It doesn't happen overnight. If you look at the fall of the Roman Republic, not the Roman Empire, but the Roman Republic. It started in the late 2nd century BC and didn't around 133 BC with the death of Tiberius Gracchus, and came to a final end in 44 BC with the assassination of Julius Caesar. But that was from 133 to 44. That's 90 years, 89 years, but basically 90 years. So that decline occurred over a 90-year period. And you had Sulla and Pompey and Caesar. A lot of people came and went, but it took 90 years. I said, so if you ask me if we're in decline, I would say yes, we're in a decadent period, and the republic is under threat. But if you said it's going to happen tomorrow morning, not necessarily. It's a long grind down, and things. By the way, Brian, the best prediction I've ever made, and I do this all the time, was August 2021, and it was in the worst part of the Afghanistan debacle, that withdrawal in which Biden and the Pentagon grossly mismanaged, unnecessary deaths, etc. And somebody who was quite distressed by this turned to me and says, well, "What happens next?" And I said, "It's going to get worse."
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.